In this video, I'm going to rank every single collaboration medallion in Fortnite history from worst to best. This is every medallion that is associated with another franchise or IP aside from Fortnite, and we've got a very rare video here for this channel because this list will include the medallions in modes besides Battle Royale, so think Reload or Blitz. I do want to give a quick honorable mention though to the Jason Voorhees medallion, which will reveal nearby low health enemies. It's been leaked forever. It's not currently in the game as of recording this, so obviously I can't rank it, but if it does come out, just know that it should be on this list. That's all I've got to say in this intro. If you do go on to enjoy this video, consider leaving a like using code TYFRYZ in the Fortnite item shop to help support the content here, and let's get right into this ranking. At number 9, in my opinion, the worst collab medallion of all time is Phasma's Blaster Medallion from Galactic Battle. And you know what? I don't think this should be a surprise because I don't think anybody really particularly liked this medallion. In fact, I remember when I was doing research on ranking everything in Galactic Battle, and I was watching a typical gamer stream, and he was actually dropping the medallion. Like, he would take out Phasma, take the mythic weapon, and just leave the medallion, right? A medallion doesn't even take up inventory space, right? So you have to be really bad for somebody to not take it. And all it does, as you guys probably know, is it just extends the amount of time that you can fire before the weapon cools down, right? Because you obviously had all laser weapons. It's essentially just an extended mag. It's just not really needed, right? Like, I don't know how else to say it. It's just not a medallion that you need to have at all. And again, like I said, most players wouldn't even take it at all because obviously it reveals on your minimap where you are. And a lot of players, including myself, felt that that trade-off wasn't worth it. At number 8 is Mysterio's Stealth Medallion from Chapter 5, Season 4. So this is a medallion that I feel like was one little change away from being a really great medallion, and let me explain. So Fortnite has kind of a long history of kind of butchering invisible items, right? You remember back in the day, like the Predator cloaking gauntlets were not good. I didn't think the Relic cloak gauntlets were great in Chapter 4, Season 3 either. And you know, of course, other items in the past, and they messed up with this item because they made it so that it would only cloak once you were crouching. You could not, sprint and be invisible. And of course, we would see this be changed in Chapter 6 with Shogun X's medallion in Chapter 6 Season 1 and Core's Shrouded Striker medallion, right? Those medallions made it that, you would go invisible when sprinting. But that's not the case with this medallion. So when are you ever going to really use it, right? You've got to crouch, you got to wait a couple seconds, then you go invisible, then what? You're going to crouch walk 50 meters up to somebody? Like, no, it just doesn't really work, especially in a season that is mosquito shooting simulator where everyone's flying around anyways. And also, let's not forget, somebody can see you on the minimap if you're crouching up to them, right? Because obviously you pick up a medallion, you get the circle on the minimap, everyone knows that. So again, like I said, this medallion is just one tweak away from being a great one, and that is making it so that you can sprint and still maintain that invisibility, but you could not do that, so that is why this medallion is far down on this list. At number 7 is the First Blood medallion. This was obviously part of the Mortal Kombat collaboration in Chapter 6, Season 2, and it's painfully mid. The First Blood medallion, essentially, all it does is it gives you an explosive round on the first shot of your magazine, and that might seem kind of mid, and that's because it is, because on stuff like assault rifles or SMGs where you're just kind of spraying, you don't really notice this effect. But something like shotguns, where a lot of times you have a full magazine and you really only take one shot at a time, well, it's actually very useful there. And even with sniper rifles, it's of course very useful because a lot of times you only have one shot anyways. I will say the thing I like about this medallion is you don't have to change up your playstyle that much to, be effective with it. You just continue to shoot people like you normally would, try and be more accurate on the first shot, I guess, but if you miss the first shot, I mean, who really cares? Just keep spraying at them. So it's a medallion that is not good, but it's a medallion that also is not terrible, and you probably pick it up when you find it anyway, so who really cares, right? That's why I think it's a mid medallion. At number 6 is Peter Griffin's medallion from Chapter 5, Season 1. So, as you guys know, the Chapter 5, Season 1 medallions function completely differently to how the current medallions do. You don't get any, special bonus feature or bonus ability. All these did is they would slowly regenerate shield over time, and the more medallions you had, the quicker the shield would regen, and the more shield that you could regen. So, that means that Peter Griffin's medallion by itself is not very good, but if you stack it with 2 or 3 other medallions, well, then you're really cooking. Again, all this medallion does is just passively give you shield, so you're always going to take it no matter what, right? Like, you'll take that benefit. It's just not good on its own, so that's what kind of made it difficult for me to rank on this list. At number 5 is Doombots Siphon Medallion from Chapter 5, Season 4, and it shouldn't be a surprise that it's decently high up on this list, right? All it is Siphon. That is 50 effective health or shield on an elimination. Siphon is always a great benefit to have, right? Like, it doesn't even take up an inventory slot, of course. This is a medallion that is a no-brainer to take, and if you're an aggressive player, you're going to absolutely love this. What I will say is, if you like to play, you know, that support role in your team or something, you're just going to leave this medallion for one of the more aggressive teammates on your squad. Again, it's another medallion where you don't really have to change your playstyle, it just aids you. My only issue here is that it doesn't help you in a fight, it helps you after a fight, right? Like, I would prefer a medallion like a reveal medallion that is going to help me get the leg up on a fight when it's happening, as opposed to a medallion that will help me once I've completed a fight, but of course there's no guarantee that you're going to complete the fight in the first place. You might die. So yeah, that's kind of my reasoning here for this pick. At number 4 is Megazord's Medallion from Chapter 6, Season 4. So of course, Megazord is no longer in the game. He was only in the game for a couple weeks. And you know what? I kind of have mixed reviews on this medallion because on one hand, yeah, a reveal medallion is always good, right? You'll always take free recon whenever. But of course, to earn it, you have to do the most damage in the lobby to Megazord, which isn't necessarily that easy. And this medallion scans every about 50 seconds to a minute. That is a very, very long time, much longer than other reveal medallions on this list. And that's really its problem. It just takes so long to mark somebody. And for doing the most damage in the lobby to Megazord, again, like I said, is not necessarily an easy thing. You get revealed with this medallion, which I feel like just isn't enough. I mean, they did the same thing with Godzilla, but the Godzilla medallion is much better than the Megazord medallion. And of course, that will be reflected in my rankings today. Just wait a couple minutes. At number 3 is Emma Frost's reveal medallion from Chapter 5, Season 4. This is the final Chapter 5, Season 4 medallion on this list. Now that I think about it, the final Chapter 5 medallion. All 3 from that season were collab medallions, and the reveal medallion is incredible. I think it's even better when you pair it with her mythic burst AR. This reveal medallion is much quicker than the Megazord medallion, which is why it's only one spot higher than it, because at its core, they do the same thing. It's just the amount of time it takes before you can reveal just is what really separates them. I think I can pretty confidently say, you know, without getting any backlash in the comment section, that Emma Frost reveal medallion was definitely the best in Chapter 5, Season 4. There really shouldn't be any argument there. Infinite recon, no inventory slot, and you pair it with her burst AR, which is great for picking people apart. Yeah, I really just don't see where you could go wrong here. Moving inside our top 2 here, guys. At number 2 is the aforementioned Godzilla Medallion from Chapter 6, Season 1. And like I said earlier, same thing as the Megazord Medallion. You obtain it by doing the most damage to Godzilla. So this medallion is essentially just a reskin of Cerberus's medallion that was the aspect of agility, right, in Chapter 5, Season 2. And that medallion is pretty well agreed upon as being at least a top 5 medallion. I think you could even sneak it inside the top 3. It's just the infinite mobility and those quick dashes are so useful. And in fact, the Godzilla medallion actually has the same sound effects as the Cerberus medallion. It's just so good, right? It's so good for close range fights and closing the gap on people. It's so good for just totally bamboozling people. I seriously think the 0-point effect is one of the best bodily effects in Fortnite history, which, by the way, I've actually ranked every bodily effect, if you can believe it. Yeah, like the bio says, I rank everything in Fortnite. But yeah, honestly, you might have expected this medallion to be at number 1, but it's not, and I don't know if you're going to see this one coming, so let's get into the number 1 spot today. At number 1 today, guys, is the Saitama Medallion from Blitz, actually. And it feels so weird to say that, right? Because I never rank anything from Blitz. And let me know in the comment section down below if you want to see me rank more things from Blitz. But this item comes from the One Punch Man collaboration. And as the name suggests, One Punch Man, you can infinitely hit people with your pickaxe and one-tap them. It's like, imagine having a mythic goldfish, but you didn't have to throw it, and instead it was in your pickaxe. Yeah, let's just say something. There is a reason why this thing was not given to players in public battle royale. It would be absolutely insane. Now, I will say there is a little bit of a skill gap here, right? Because you have to hit somebody with your pickaxe. And I'm not going to say that's necessarily the easiest thing to do, right? But of course, if you're able to do that, you can just infinitely hit people, right? There's no ammo, there's no recharge. It's just hit them once, they're instantly dead, they'll drop to the ground. I think I remember watching like a FaZe Replays video of him winning a game using only the Saitama Medallion, and that might be the gameplay you're watching for this video today. And it's just so funny to watch, right? Because people can't necessarily tell that you have the medallion. You know what I'm saying? So like they don't know that they're running into a room with somebody who's got their pickaxe on, like, oh, free kill. You swing it at their face and they just die instantly. It's so funny. Again, it might seem like a little bit of a cheap pick, right? It is blatantly overpowered for a reason, and that's totally fine. It's in Blitz, right? When it's not in public battle royale, they can get away with things like this. Blitz is kind of a goofy game mode anyway, so it might seem a little bit cheap. It's at the number 1 spot, but there's no way that I could make a list of the collab medallions and not include the Saitama Medallion. So of course, here it is. Alrighty, folks, I really hope you went on to enjoy that video. Please let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of my ranking today. Again, I just want to preface, the Jason Voorhees medallion is not out yet at the time of recording this video. There's a good shot that it could be by the time this video comes out because it's been leaked for this entire FORTNITE event. I don't even know why they didn't just drop it with Jason, who's literally in the game as a boss right now. To me, that makes absolutely no sense. Or maybe they're saving it for Blitz for a certain event. I don't even know. And we don't really know how that medallion is going to function, but I have the other reveal medallions at number 3 and number 4, so it'd probably slot in somewhere around that 3 to 5 mark. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. As always, peace.